You go, boy.
Hey, world. The hits just keep on coming. That's that face. You know that face. We got Joe Benigno in the building. legendary sports talk episode. Told you we were serious. Episode 23 of the U-Goboy podcast coming at you. Yahtzee.
You go, boy.
All we hear is about their defense. They can't stop a nosebleed. 25th in the league, and we the one to get disrespected.
Congratulations. See you in Pittsburgh.
Can't wait.
Whoa. Hey, this a vibe, nigga. Whoa. Woo. Secure the bag, I need more. Hey, 3P, Jordan. Whoa. Woo. I can't keep it on a low. This a whole vibe. I don't need a plug, no cosign. Thinking out loud, that's a gold mine. Mask on, yeah, COVID-19. Baby mama, yeah, looking like Rihanna. Rest in peace to George, rest in peace Brianna. Still kicking like Van Damme with my niggas in Amsterdam. Oh man, Marv, load it up. Marv, load it up.
You go, boy.
Load it up.
Savage.
Yahtzee. Oh man, it's your boy. You go, boy. That's me. That's Mongo. We're gonna get right to it. This is a legendary. I gotta say it one more time. Legendary episode of the U-Goboy podcast, live from Bravery Studios. In lovely Garfield, New Jersey. We got the host of Oh the Pain, a sports radio legend. Gonna get some bombs. Give me some bombs for that. Can I get 5 Ric Flairs? Can I get 5 Ric Flairs? Can I get 2 Dom DeMarcos? 2 Dom DeMarcos. And a Chris Tucker. There we go. We got the one and only Joe Benigno is in the building. We're not worthy.
Oh, stop it already. Stop the nonsense.
Joe, thanks for coming, man. Appreciate you, man. How you doing?
How
you feeling, buddy?
I'm not too bad, I'm not bad. I did a show today, filled in for BT, Brandon Fanny today. It was okay. Watching the Mets actually won today, 2 in a row for them. And was watching the PGA, watching Bryce and DeChambeau leading that right now. So that's what I've been doing, bro. Get ready to eat dinner.
I love it. Dom DeMarco, please. Dom DeMarco. Oh, love it. Oh, as always, grab the merch. Grab yourself some U-Goboy merch. The link is in the bio.
Ugo, you got even merchandise?
Yeah, we got merch, baby.
But you guys,
Joe,
guys are all over it. Hey, bro. Let's be honest. To get Pat McAfee, to get Joe Rogan, you guys got it going here.
Thank you. Dr. Marco for myself. Thank you. Thanks, Joe. Love you, man. Appreciate that. I got merch waiting for you next time I see you. Next time I pull up to Hackensack Brewery, I'll have a shirt for you, man. You have my word. So let's kick things off. Let's talk about Oh the Pain. Oh the Pain, your podcast, your show. I was at a live taping of it at Hackensack Brewery. You had an amazing turnout. You are well loved and well received here in Jersey and in the tri-state area. Talk about your show, man. How did it come about? And I think you're over 150 episodes. A round of applause for that.
Here's what I'll say, bro. I just do the show. Okay, I mean, if you tell me it's over 150 episodes, then that's the first I'm hearing about it. Because all I do is do them. My wonderful daughter Erin runs everything. As I always tell everybody, I'm pretty much technologically illiterate, so she handles all that kind of stuff. I just do them, bro. I just do the podcast. I'm retired. I haven't been working full time since November of 2020, and we took a little time off after that. Played a lot of golf. Not that I'm still not playing a lot of golf, but decided to do this podcast a couple days a week, and it just kind of took off from there. We'll actually be doing our next live podcast from the Hackensack Film Company tomorrow night. And my old partner, one of the top guys in morning radio in New York on WABC, my good buddy Sidney Arthur Rosenberg, will be joining us tomorrow night at the brewery. So should be an interesting evening for sure.
Oh man,
That's awesome.
Two Dom DeMarcos for that. We got this is unbelievable. I'm gonna try to make it. Mongo, you gonna be around tomorrow? We can go together.
I think now I might have to be.
There we go. So
Hey,
absolutely. Me and Mongo, we'll show up tomorrow,
Get
man.
Sydney,
Just for
you know what? You know what? We'll get Sydney on your podcast, man. He'll be perfect for you guys. I tell you, man. Sydney Arthur.
We will definitely work that out. This has been an amazing run. Me and Mongo were talking about before the show. Michael Lombardi was on 2 episodes ago.
Wow.
Adnan Verk was on the last episode, and now we got the legend. We got the GOAT. 5 more Ric Flairs. We got Joe B. Joe B's in the building.
No offense, Adnan. Topping it all.
Topping
this
it
is
all.
the top right here.
Listen, let me just remind you, Ugo. The only Ugo and Mongo. The only goat I get is when the horns kick me in the ass. Okay, so that's about it. That's the only goat I'm getting.
I love it. 2 savages, please. Just savage away.
Savage.
Now, Joe, you're a long-suffering Jets fan. Mongo,
Right.
Mongo, you take it away. You guys have your Jets.
Mongo, you a
right
Jets fan?
I'm with you. I'm with you.
All right.
Maybe-
Well, let me ask you because you're a lot younger than me, Mongo.
Sure thing.
I don't know if you're necessarily better looking, but you are a lot younger.
I'm not. Hey, I'm
Anyway,
not denying it.
When did the pain start for you?
Oh, right about maybe 1997, 1998.
Now wait a minute. Now let me stop you though, because you're talking about 2 pretty good years for the Jets. Those are the Parcells years.
Oh no, it
Championship
started well.
game in '98. They were 97 and '97. So you grew up in kind of the best period of Jet football, kind of like from like 1997 right on through, let's say, 2010, the second of the back-to-back AFC Championship games with Rex. You had a pretty good run there. Now the last 10 years have been more typical of what we've seen. You know what I mean? Actually, what is it now? How many years since we made the playoffs? It's going to be 13 years, right? So
Absolutely.
that's been more Jet-like. You know what I mean?
I'll tell you, even during the good times, when I knew what I was getting myself signed up for, that year that they had the 4 first-rounders, and you thought,
Right. 99.
Okay,
99.
this has to be glorious. And don't get me wrong, Chad Pennington was great. But as soon as they drafted Ellis and Abraham back to back, and the whole crowd went ballistic. Who is that guy? And then they just completed it by pulling Anthony Becht out of the air.
Anthony Becht was. The other guys were good. Ellis and
That's what I
Abraham,
said.
Abraham was otherwise.
This is gonna be a journey, and don't get me wrong, I'm here for it. I'm not going anywhere. But
Right.
when Anthony Becht came out of there, I said, all right, this might not be. Also, remember at that time, I mean, there was a lot going on in New York sports. You had a Subway Series right around there. The Knicks had just been in the finals. You had the Devils and Rangers both in the Cup over those last 5-6 years
It's
before.
only
that.
30 years now
You
for the Rangers. It will be next year.
Even at that time, the Jets were good, but they were still looking up. That's which is sort of the signature of a Jet fan.
Let's be honest,
looking up
Mongo.
at somebody.
They're still the second-class citizen to the Giants. I mean, maybe if we win the Super Bowl here with Aaron Rodgers. And another thing that hurts them is they play. You can make MetLife Stadium as green as you want to make it. You can put up the Ring of Honor and all this nonsense. Okay, nothing against the Ring of Honor, but you know what I mean. This is Giant Stadium. They still play in the Giant Stadium. And this place is nowhere near as good as the last one. The old Giant Stadium was 100 times better than this place. But they still play in Giant Stadium. I mean, to me, that's been an issue for this franchise for, since they left Shea Stadium, really.
Oh man, like the video, subscribe to the channel. This is epic. This is legendary. Can I get 2 more Don Cannons? Can I get some Don Cannons?
Get some Don Cannons in there.
I love it. Joe, so I got this question for both you guys, since you guys are both long-suffering Jet fans.
I'm ready.
First for you, Mongo, and then we'll take it back to you, Joe. Mongo, when did you realize Zach Wilson was not the guy to lead you guys to a championship? When did it dawn for you?
It was in the playoffs last year, which I know is the Jets were nowhere near them, so this is going off. I'm going off menu. I get that.
I'm following.
But it was when San Francisco had all those quarterbacks get hurt, and Quinnen Williams tweeted out, see San Francisco. So it was something like, see San Francisco, it's not that easy when you don't have a quarterback, or something along those lines.
Right.
Because it was one thing when you were at least saying, maybe we can hit that serviceable line with Zach Wilson. He'll never have the value we thought he was going to have. But hey, serviceable quarterbacks have done some winning before. Maybe he can just be a super blue-collar guy who we overdrafted. But when it was clear that the team and his teammates had given up on him, that's when it was, okay, this guy is not starting again for this team.
Oh, yeah. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Joe, how about same question for you? When did you know that Zach Wilson was not the chosen one to lead you guys to a championship?
I don't know if I would say it was a moment that I knew it, but I'll say this. When Mike White, that game against the Bengals, that unbelievable game where he took for 400-plus yards and they beat Cincinnati, who was on their way to a Super Bowl in the last year. And it dawned on me that Mike White was better than Zach Wilson. Okay, and that you know what I mean? I mean, that's when, and I'm saying to myself, wait a minute, why don't we play this guy? And I think one of the big mistakes the Jets made, and they should have re-signed Mike White, and now he's in freaking Miami. Right? Last year they had to justify Wilson was the second pick in the draft. He was going to play, but Mike White was better, and we saw that, as the season went on again. They would, if Mike White played the 2 games against the Patriots, they would have won both of them. No doubt in my mind.
Oh, yeah. Like the video, subscribe to the channel.
And so that's it. It was more like, well, you got this guy Wilson, he's okay, but now I got this guy I never even heard of, and he's better. Something's wrong with that pitcher. You know what I mean?
I follow. Again, like the video, subscribe to the channel. We got Joe B in the building. Is it okay if I call you Joe B? I give out nicknames. That's what I do.
You can call me whatever you want. I've been called. Let me tell you, I've been called a lot of things. You won't get into them all. I know we could probably get away with it. We could probably get away with it on this show, but we don't want to get too crazy.
Be too savages for that.
I was gonna say, if there's ever been a time for a savage, it's right there.
Right there, man. Mongo, you got something for him? You got a question jet related for our guest?
I want to hear what you think about this draft, Joe. Not just the players that we got, but what players we didn't get. Not just the individual talents, but given what sort of the opportunity cost here. Especially with what seemed like a first-round scramble. What do you think of this whole draft? How'd this play out in your mind?
I wasn't, and I don't think it was terrible. Look, the first thing I will say, okay, I'll say this, all right? They were going to take this kid, Broderick Jones from Georgia, the offensive tackle. And, the Patriots had to pick right before the Jets, and Belichick screwed him. He traded the pick to Pittsburgh, and Pittsburgh was going to take Jones, and they did it. And he did it basically to hose the Jets. I mean, I don't think there's no doubt about it in my mind, okay? So at that point now, the guy you want is gone. I love, the wide receiver from Ohio State, Jackson Smith-Njigba. Loved him. When I watched him a couple of years ago, when Ohio State had Garrett Wilson and Chris Olave and this kid, Smith-Njigba, I thought he was the better of the 3 best. And these guys are all top flight players. Garrett Wilson, Olave was terrific for the Saints. These guys are top guys. And I thought he was better. So he was fit there. I kind of wanted him. Now but with that said, they took the pass rusher McDonald. I don't really know a lot about him, obviously. It seemed like he was really looked to be a second-round guy. But I actually, I correspond back and forth a lot with the coach, with Salah. Okay, we text back and forth a lot, and we go back and forth about this kid. He was telling me that there were 3 teams in the first round behind him that were going to take him if the Jets did. Now, who knows? Do I know if that's true or not? I don't know. But they took him. Supposedly, this kid is a big pass rusher. We'll find out, I like the kid they took from Wisconsin, the center/guard, whatever his name, Pittman, whatever his name is. Wisconsin's got a real good reputation for offensive linemen. I like him. I like the 2 kids that are local, the kids they took from Pitt. The offensive lineman Warren is from Patterson, and the other kid, however you say his name, the running back from Pitt, who's from where is he from? Brooklyn. He's from Brooklyn.
Yeah.
So Israel.
Okay. Let's see what these guys are. I mean, you hear good things about them. The draft last year obviously was tremendous. The draft the year before that was okay. Obviously, Zach Wilson puts a big damper on it. The first draft by Douglas, Mekhi Becton has got he's been a disaster so far. Denzel Mims has not been good. Ashton Davis as a third-round pick, and a guy that basically is only a special teamer, is not the answer. So it's kind of a mixed bag. But let's see what these guys are. Let's see. Look, this team's got to be good. Let's be honest.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's going to be 55 years without a Super Bowl next year. If they don't win now, they got the quarterback. They got an all-time quarterback who's committed to being here. Let's be honest. Rodgers wants to be here. He said all the right things at the press conference. There's much stock you want to put into that. But this guy's coming here to win a Super Bowl. Rodgers knows if I win with the Jets, forget it. I'm a Hall of Fame quarterback now, but I go to a different level if I slay the dragon for the New York Jets. So he's all in. He's committed. Look, the offensive line, we'll see what it is. I think that's the biggest question mark on the team, but we got AVP coming back. Got this kid Tippmann they drafted. They still got McGovern there. I guess he's going to play. I mean, with the daughter send, we'll see. Maybe Becton's healthy. I don't know. Who knows? I wouldn't count on that. But, okay, we got Breece Hall coming back. Hopefully his progress is accelerated coming back from a big injury. He's close at least to what he was last year. You got a couple guys there. You still got Carter coming back. You still got Bam Knight coming back. Now you got this kid from Pitt. They got plenty of receivers. We got Garrett Wilson. We got Alan Lazard. We got Nicole Hardman. We got Randall Cobb. We got two solid. We still got Davis too. I forgot about it. Corey Davis still there. When he's healthy, he's good. But he's hurt all of them. We got two really good tight ends. We got a big time defense. They got to take the ball away more. But we got three more pros on defense. We got Quinton Williams, C.J. Mosley, who I think is overrated, and we got Sauce. And you got the other kid on the other side, DJ Reed. It's time to win. I mean, the division is down. Buffalo, I don't think is as good as they were the last couple of years. They lost both their defensive and offensive coordinators. They really don't have a running game. At the end of the year, when they lost to the Bengals in a playoff game, Stephon Diggs was yelling at Josh Allen on the bench. I mean, I don't know if that means anything, but he was. I don't know how good Miami is. You got to figure who is going to get hurt at some point, and Mike White is probably going to come back in the broadcast. I can see that out.
Savage.
Without fail.
And let's be honest, Mongo, it's time to beat the shit out of the Patriots. We lost 14 straight to them. They're not any good. And not only do we have to beat them, we have got to beat the crap out of them. If we got a chance to put 60 on them, that wouldn't be enough. To me, I know the schedule's tough. I know the first 6 games are not easy. You got the Chiefs coming up at home. You got the Eagles. Both of them are home games, though. The schedule lightens up in the back end. But here's the bottom line. I don't put a lot of stock in the schedules. And if you're going to be a big boy, okay, which is what we're looking at now, we're not looking at, 9-8. Oh, we had a nice year. No. We're looking to be a big boy, and we got to beat the big boys. And it's time to win a division. Okay, there's no reason they can't win this division. And let's see. Mongo, it's now or never. When is it happening?
Oh yeah. Like the video, subscribe to the channel.
Now is the right answer. You mind if I double down one more?
Go for it.
So our fine friends at CBS were kind enough to get a narrative started. I mean, they're not the first, but they really doubled down by looking at some possible trade destinations for Quinton Williams. Do you have anything you can share with us about anything you found about his contract?
Quinton Williams is going nowhere. Quinton Williams will get paid.
Okay,
that's the bottom line.
That's all I need to hear, Joe.
I have no concern whatsoever about Quinton Williams not getting his deal with the Jets.
Hearing it all sounds great. Hearing it from you is just that's a warm blanket right there.
I do. I mean, they got to pay him. They're going to pay him. They have to. He's one of the best. He's become one of the premier defensive tackles in football. He's better than Dexter Lawrence. He's a very good player with the Giants, but he's better. Dexter Lawrence got his money. Quinton Williams just got to get his money now.
Agreed.
Absolutely.
Give me a fat Joe for that. Give me a fat Joe for that.
It's not today's price.
That's what he's going to say about Dexter Lawrence. When they go to pay him the Dexter Lawrence contract, that's exactly what Quinton Williams is going to say.
Absolutely, 100%. Joe, let's keep it moving here. Let's get to baseball. Now the Mets they won in dramatic fashion. Walk off by Polar Bear, and they won again today. And won again today.
Over the Rays.
You're helping us, Yankees. You're helping us out. Thank you.
Thanks.
Appreciate that.
I understand. But as far as the Mets go, so here's the Mets, right? They lose it. They get swept by the Detroit Tigers. They lose series to the Colorado Rockies, the Washington Nationals. They barely split them this last series. They're losing to all these crummy teams. I mean, Cincinnati's beat them 2 out of 3. I mean, come on, right? I mean, and now they hadn't won the series since beating of all teams, the Dodgers on the West Coast, like 6 weeks ago. And now they come home. They get this the best win of the year last night. Vientos with the big home run. Alvarez with the big home run. Pete with the game-winning home run. It's ridiculous, by the way, that Vientos didn't play today. I mean, Buck, please, Buck. How do you not play this kid today? But whatever. They win today. Pete hit a big home run. McGill played it, pitched a solid game. And Senga pitched great last night, too. 6 innings, 12 strikeouts, 1 run. Let's see. They backed it up with a win. They won 2 out of 3 against the best team in baseball. They got the Guardian coming in now. Cleveland, Guardian. Don't get me crazy started on that. And
2 savages, please.
All right.
So it's the way he said it.
The Guardian.
So
What
angry.
a disgrace. Anyway, let's go. Let's keep winning. And Vientos has got to play. So we'll see what happens. Listen, baseball is you have to tell you, it's 162 games. There's a lot of baseball to be played. I'm concerned about the Mets rotation. I really am. I think Scherzer's at the end. Senga, maybe they got something with Senga. McGill actually was good today. I think Verlander's going to be all right. I know he got racked the other night. But I think Verlander's going to be okay. I'm worried about Scherzer. We'll see. Let's see. It's May 18th. There's a long way to go.
Oh, yeah. Like the video, subscribe to the channel.
Mind if I get another question?
Keep it going, baby.
Joe, if you don't mind here. So they've just been kind of middling on offense, right? They're pretty much 17th through 20th in home runs, OPS, the whole thing.
They got to bring all these kids up. They need one more kid now, Ronnie Mauricio, to bring up. One more.
Absolutely. And so the 2 stats that I want to talk about with the young kids, as of yesterday, 7th overall in the league in walks in baseball, 28th in strikeouts. It's clear their strategy is work the pitch count, even at the expense of some strikeouts, which seems like if you're going to have a little bit of a youth revolution here, that's going to be really, really hard. You got to let the young kids swing sometimes.
No, they're going to look.
Is this going to work?
All these kids that are up right now, Beatty, Alvarez, and Vientos, these kids can all hit home runs. And this team doesn't hit it. But Pete Alonso is one of the premier home run hitters in baseball. There's no denying that. He's one of the top guys. But outside of Pete, who hits home runs? I mean, Lindor has like 6 home runs. These kids can hit home runs. And we saw it last night. And they're going to, believe me, they're going to be swinging the bat. I'm not concerned about that. And now it's time to get Mauricio up here, too. It really is.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Joe, we mentioned this when I was. Shout out to Jason Enrique, my main man, and
one of the greats, Jason Enrique.
That's my homie, dog.
The man, the myth, the legend. Give him another Don Lemon or whatever. Was it Don Lemon?
Give me 5 savages.
Savage.
Dr. Marco.
When that shot is shot, I'll give him that.
Now we got to get a Don Lemon drop now.
Yeah, you got to get a Don Lemon drop.
That's gonna be a whole clip in itself. We love you, Joe. Never change.
Oh, that's awesome.
but we mentioned this when I was a guest with you on first class second place podcast. Yeah, I gotta say the whole thing like a Tribe Called Quest. Nailed it. In terms of the Correa not landing with the Mets, and we talked about it too on Sports Talk a few times, the saga of him going to San Francisco, then to you guys, then to Minnesota, then back to you guys, then back to Minnesota. So you guys didn't land him. Do you guys feel like the Mets are still a big bat away? Do they have something like you mentioned in the pipeline?
You know what? I want to see these kids, bro. That's what I'm talking about. Let me see these kids play. Even if let's assume that the Mets are not going to go anywhere this year. Okay. Let's assume that that's certainly a possibility. We don't know yet, but certainly possible. Well, if nothing else, I want to see kids play. Let me see what I got with these guys. And because you know one thing, our own Cohen. Cohen's going to spend the money. You know that. They're not going to be bad for long if it turns out this way. And you know they're going there for a time. There's no doubt about it. At the end of the season, he's a free agent. They're going after him. I don't know if he wants to leave West Coast. You hear about he wants to play with the Dodgers, whatever. But Cohen's going to throw as much money as he can at this guy to try to bring him to the Mets. So, but I want to see these bats, man. Let me see these kids play. Maybe we really got something with these guys.
Oh my goodness, absolute great take there.
Love that.
Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Speaking of Ohtani, we can segue to our guys, the Yankees. Can I get a Don Lemon? Can I get a Don DeMarco?
Don Lemon.
I'm gonna find a Don Lemon drop now. I have to.
It can't be too hard to find one.
It can't. He's dropped a couple CM Punk pipe bombs over the years, which is why he's not with CNN anymore. So, but segueing to Ohtani, let's talk about our Yankees. And let's get your take on the Yankees as well. I mean, I feel like they're beginning to finally find their footing. They held serve. Not in love with the offseason whatsoever. We've talked about it in detail. We're scared to death about Rodon. We don't know if he's going to pitch this year.
That's understandable.
And with that being said,
Severino's back. Severino's going to pitch Natty this weekend, right?
Well, that goes to my point. I mean, Severino's coming back, and I believe Cashman's got to do something at the deadline to either get another arm or to get some relief help or to get another bat. My question to you is, do you think that the Yankees, when it's all said and done, they're going to at least find themselves? I don't think we're going to catch Tampa. I think this is their year for the division. That pains me to say with all this baseball left to go. But how much damage do you think the Yankees can get when they're at full strength with another move or two? Where do you think they stack in the hierarchy in the American League?
Well, I think right now, the hierarchy in the American League is the American League East. The division is absolutely brutal. Everybody's over 500. Obviously, we know about Tampa. Look at the Orioles, man. I'm waiting to see Frank and Brooks Robinson show up. Pete Powell, they're playing well. Toronto's a good team. Boston, they fall back a little bit lately, but they are still over 500. So the division's very tough. The bottom line, though, is this, and really, this is baseball has become almost the National Hockey League. All you got to do is get in the playoffs now, and you can win. That's it. We saw it with the Phillies last year. We saw it with the Padres. And the Phillies finished how many games behind Atlanta in the East? They were like 12 games there in the World Series. The Padres were like 20 games behind the Dodgers, and they beat them in the playoffs. Who knows? You can get hot at the right time, get in the playoffs, okay? To me, the regular season in baseball has really been watered down. There's too many games for the amount of playoff rounds you have to do now to win the World Series. It's 162 games is too much. And I don't think they're ever going to cut it down. They should have it at about 140 maybe, because there's just too many playoffs now. But look, the Yankees are going to hang around. As long as to me, the biggest team for the Yankees, okay, they got the best pitcher in baseball. They arguably have the best player in baseball. Okay? Those two guys got to stay healthy. Garrett Cole's going to stay healthy, and Garrett Cole doesn't. Look, guy, he's not terrific fifth day. I love Garrett. He takes the ball every fifth day. You say whatever you want about him. He doesn't go on the DL. There's no swings here. Every fifth day, Garrett Cole can be the ball. So you got the best pitcher in baseball, and with Aaron Judge, you need these two guys to stay healthy. If those guys stay healthy, I think you're going to be in it no matter what. Is that going to be enough to put forward? I don't know. The division's very tough. You got to go through the gauntlet to win it's not like the old days when even all you had to do was win the division and you only had one series and then you went to the World Series. Those days are long over. So I think that's the key for the Yankees. I really do. I think Cole has to stay healthy. Judge has to stay healthy. Hopefully, Severino, does his thing. He messed the Cortez to get a little better. He's been a little shaky so far this year. He's been up and down. We'll see about the pen. I'm going to be here's the bottom line. Yankees are in a championship team, probably not, but they're definitely going to be in the mix. And I would, if you ask me, are they making a playoff? I would say yes. That's my feeling.
All right. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. We got Joe B in the building. Episode 23 of the U-Goboy podcast. Mongo's here. I'm here. Don Lemon's here. He's
Maybe
here.
you know what? Maybe you get Don Lemon. Don Lemon's got a lot of time on his hands now. Maybe you can get him on a podcast. You never know.
5 savages. 5 savages.
Just you know what? Just don't bring on Poppy Harlow or Caitlin Collins, and you'll be okay with Don.
This isn't that type of show. Zing. Let's keep it going. Joe, you're a sports radio legend here in the tri-state area and throughout the country. My big question to you is, in terms of sports media over the years, how would you compare it to back in the day, let's say the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, versus now with the hot take shows and the sports debate shows, the Stephen A. Smiths of the world, the Skip Baylesses of the world? In terms of just sports media in general and sports journalism in general, how would you say that it's changed over the years? How would you compare it? Has it gotten better? Has it gotten easier to access? What's your opinion of it? How it used to be, how it was, and how it is now?
Oh, look, it's a saturated field now. You know, the sports media in the 70s and the 80s, you know, when I was growing up in the 60s, forget it. It was nothing like it is today. You know, with the advent of ESPN, but I really think I think the big thing, and not because I worked there for 25 years, but I think when WFAN came into existence in 1988, to me that changed the entire landscape of what the sports world was and sports media was. All of a sudden now, sports media became a big entity, became big business, became a 7-day-a-week, 24-hour-a-day in a lot of cases, medium where you could go and vent about your team. And now WFAN was the first one, and still to me will always be the best one. I know I did work there, but in New York, everybody wants to be in the media in New York. And now look all over the country. How many? They're everywhere. They're everywhere. Everybody's got a podcast. Everybody, I got a podcast. You guys got a podcast. Podcasts are. It's it's blown up now. You know what I mean? And I really think that when WFAN came into the world in '88, that was the beginning of sports media really, really taking off. Yeah, no question about it.
Absolutely. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. We got Joe B in the building. This is crazy. This is epic. Let's keep it going. Let's get back to football. So we talked about the Jets. You guys love that right there. Who else in the AFC? Because we'll keep it AFC and then we'll cross over back to the NFC. But who else in the AFC do you have your eyes on in terms of are going to be real major players aside from obviously the Chiefs with Patrick Mahomes? We know it's his world. Right. We're all living in it.
Obviously the Chiefs, sure.
So other than the Chiefs, other than Andy Reid's crew, who do you think are the elites that the Jets are going to have to go through, or that they're going to be the top dogs in the conference coming into this season?
Well, they don't play them in the regular season, but the Bengals. I don't think you can. Joe Burrow, to me, if Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in football now, then Joe Burrow is the next guy. I don't think there's any doubt about it. So I think the Bengals are a team you really got to look at right now. They won the Super Bowl 2 years ago. They got to the championship game last year. They said they knocked. We saw what they did to Buffalo in the divisional round in Buffalo last year. So they're a very, very good team. I mean, there's no doubt about it. They're a team to be reckoned with. I always I don't want to discount. I don't love Lamar Jackson, but I don't want to discount the Ravens because their organization, they're always good. So I wouldn't. And they made the playoffs last year with Jackson missed half the year. He's got his money now. I think the Ravens are a team that, I think is a team that can be dealt with, that you're going to have to deal with. I still wouldn't completely discount Buffalo, but I don't think they're as good as they've been the last couple of years. And on paper, our team is right there. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, they really are. Just trying to think anybody like. I think Denver's going to be a lot better. Sean Payton's the head coach now. You got a second year with Russell Wilson. Keep an eye on the Broncos and what they may do this year. And I think another team you got to look at now is Jacksonville, because Trevor Lawrence has now come on, and it's unfortunate that we didn't get him. Okay, but that's why. And let me just say this, and I say when I watch the draft lottery in the NBA, I've heard people say there should be a draft lottery in the NFL. No, because there's no tanking in the NFL. Players don't tank, okay? We saw with the Jets that, back in 2020, they had a chance to get Trevor Lawrence, and they won that game against the Rams. Players play. They're playing for jobs. Even if the team stinks 0-14, you think they want to go the entire season without winning a game? And they don't give a damn about getting what the draft is going to be. So that's why there should never, ever be. You can have a lottery in the NBA. You can have a lottery in the NHL. There should never be a lottery in the NFL. If you have the worst record, you get the number 1 pick. That's it. Because nobody tanks. But getting back to the Jaguars, Trevor Lawrence is coming on. I mean, he's, if that's what you talk about, the pecking order of the young quarterbacks in the AFC, it's Mahomes, it's Burrow, and it's Trevor Lawrence. So they're going to be and they're in a terrible division. That's the other thing about Jackson. That division stinks. Tennessee's not a good break with Tennessee. Houston, we'll see what C.J. Stroud brings to the Texans. D'Amico Ryans, the coach there. Who am I missing in that division? Who's the other team in that division? The Colts. The Colts aren't any good. Who's their quarterback? I don't know. They drafted one. Richardson. They drafted the kid from Florida. That's right, Tony Richardson.
Yeah.
So, but that's Jacksonville's division to run away with, as far as I'm concerned. So, those are the teams. Those are the teams I'm worried about in the AFC.
All right. What about the Titans? Do you think the Titans?
Nah, the Titans don't think they're any good. I mean, they crapped out. They lose their last 6 or 7 games. Who's their quarterback? They drafted that kid Levis, right? From Kentucky. Get him? I don't like him. I don't like Ryan Tannehill. I like Mike Vrabel as a coach, but I don't think the Titans are any good. I don't.
Like to subscribe to the channel. When Michael Lombardi was on, he cut a CM Punk promo on Will Levis. We both cut promos on Will Levis, just not. Again, I went to Penn State, and I'm not going to waste any more oxygen on that guy. Like, he's going to have to show me. I just don't see it. But let's keep it moving. We still have time here.
You went to Penn State, Ugo?
Yes, I did. Class of 2011. Give me a round of applause for Penn State. We
111. So you were there. Let me just tell you, you were there when Immortal, probably the worst draft choice in the history of the New York Jets, Christian Hackenberg.
Oh, my God, yes. Give me 10 savages for that.
Seven.
All right. I guess I wasn't planning on cutting a promo today, but I guess I'll cut one.
Christian Hackenberg completes about 56% of his throws. Run for your life.
Let me tell you about. Let me say this. You can take it away. I'll follow you. You first on Christian Hackenberg, and then I'll go.
Great respect for Penn State. Obviously, it's unfortunate what went down with Perdomo, and obviously we don't want to get into all of that. But I go way back with Penn State. I've seen them all over. Franco Harris, Rydell Mitchell. Greg Buttle and Jack Ham, and all these great players that they had there over the years. So, well-versed in Penn State over the years. One of the great schools, no doubt about it. No doubt, no question. Obviously, Saquon lately, no doubt.
Absolutely.
But the Jets have had a lot of brutal draft choices in their history. You can make, and I don't see how it's not him. He was a second-round pick, Christian Hackenberg, never threw a pass in the NFL.
5 savages.
Right? Think about it. Second round. Never wasn't a 7th round. Second round pick. Never threw a pass in the league. Mike McCagnon was the GM. It really is. You really see how bad Mike McCagnon was. Outside of Quinn Williams, that's about it that he drafted.
Like the video, subscribe to the channel.
No offense.
No, there's no offense taken. We don't claim him. We don't claim Christian Hackenberg.
You like Franklin? You like this guy, Coach?
Now that they expanded the playoff, yes. If they did not expand the playoff,
right.
What
are we going to? So this year we're going to 8.
I think not this upcoming year. I think one more year.
One more year.
Then they'll go to 8 or it's 8 between 8 and 10. That is going to be we'll get in because we always finish. That's right where we finish. We always finish between 8 to 10, and we end up in a New Year's Bowl. That happens
you can
every
never
single
get
year.
unfortunately, right now, you never get by Michigan or Ohio State.
We can't, and that's why the expansion needs to happen, because we already baked those 2 losses into our schedule coming in, but we beat everybody else. We beat the crap out of everybody else. We just can't beat those. But with the expansion, we'll at least get into the tournament, and we'll be able to see how we stack up against the top guys, because they're going to play each other, and then we get to pick the scraps. So, but back to Christian Hackenberg. I know that you mentioned that this guy never threw an NFL pass. I knew that he was not the guy. I knew that unequivocally. Like, we had hopes for him after his freshman year. He hit the scene. He had a couple dramatic wins. I remember he had this game-winning drive against Rutgers. Which is saying a lot.
Game-winning drive against Rutgers.
Yes.
You know what? Mongo could have a game-winning drive against Rutgers.
You heard it there first.
That's not saying a lot. Come on, Hugo. Really.
I was being facetious.
It's funny because Hugo,
yes,
the way you were saying it was almost like you were laughing. Oh yeah,
I was
against Rutgers. Hello.
I was. It was hard. I almost didn't get out. You know what I mean? But no, like there was a lot of hype around him going into, I think, to the first set of games he had against Ohio State and Michigan. And you just saw clearly that he was not just 1 or 2 steps. He was several steps behind in terms of top tier first or second round. I had about a 5th or 6th round. I didn't think he was going to go undrafted. I thought he'd go in the 5th or 6th. When I saw you guys take him in round 2, I was like, this is going to end so poorly. And then he was in a heated quarterback battle.
You think Zach Wilson is bad? Just look at Christian Hackenberg.
At least we know he was bad. Give me the F over the incomplete grade on the report card any day. He didn't actually get to take a test. Unbelievable.
Oh man. So Joe, I know to get you a Christian Hackenberg jersey when I see you tomorrow.
Oh, please get me too. Let's be honest with this. The NFL quarterback landscape is not exactly littered with a ton of Penn State guys.
No.
To me, the best Penn State quarterback ever, to me, is Kerry Collins.
Yeah, that's saying a lot.
Kerry Collins was a solid NFL quarterback. Outside of him, tell me who the guy is. I don't know.
No, agreed. That's a Dom DeMarco if I've ever heard one. It's
a Dom DeMarco
out. Don Lemons all day.
I think I actually went to high school with a guy by the name of Dom DeMarco. I don't know, maybe.
I love it. Another Dom DeMarco. I love it.
Real quick, Joe.
Go
the reason this show works is that we're so different on our fandoms and a lot of our opinions. So the middle of the ways to hit us Venn diagram is very small. Yet somehow with Hackenberg, you managed to hit one there, Joe.
Agreed.
You managed to knock us both down a peg.
Yeah, right.
Quick there. Very impressive. Very impressive.
That was
Joe.
an RKO. I didn't see that coming there.
That's a rough.
And really, you could give me Vernon Golston. You could give me Kyle Wilson.
Oh, wow.
You could give me Calvin Pryor.
I knew that was coming.
Okay?
I knew Calvin Pryor was coming.
Give me Zach Wilson. Whatever you want to give me.
I can't do it.
Right? The worst draft choice in the history of the Jets is got to be Christian Hackenberg. Yeah. And not only that, he may be the worst draft choice in the history of the NFL. I mean, it's impossible.
You put him past Ryan Leaf? Come on, I wouldn't do that.
Well, Ryan Leaf at least played in the league.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? He played.
Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Joe B is a huge Christian Hackenberg fan. That's what we've gotten so much from this episode. We still got time to hit the NFC real quick. So we were in the AFC. We covered Don Lemon. We covered Christian Hackenberg.
Yep. All the essentials.
All the essentials.
You're not finding that on Yahoo. I'm just throwing it out.
You're not. Ask Jeeves. You're not finding it there. But
what's next? Elon Musk? I mean, I don't know.
He's next. Elon, coming for you, buddy. So over to the NFC now. So again, the consensus with me and Mongo and a lot of people that cover the NFL regularly is that it's a 3-team race. It's San Francisco, Philadelphia, and Dallas in no particular order. Do you feel like that is locked in? Or do you see about 2 or 3 other teams coming into the conversation as well that can give all 3 of those teams problems or possibly contend for one of the higher seeds and to do damage come tournament time?
I think a team to really keep an eye on in the NFC is the Detroit Lions. They came on at the end of the year, just missed making the playoffs. And, look, they went into Lambeau, and this is another, negative towards Favre. That's a Freudian slip. Towards Rodgers a little bit.
Savage.
They go into Lambeau with nothing to play for on the last night of the season with the Packers playing for a playoff spot, and they go in there and kick their ass. They finished 9-8. If they would have got into the playoffs, Detroit would have been a tough team to deal with. And I think the league is showing you what they think of the Lions by having them play the Chiefs to open the season on that Thursday night.
Facts.
So I would keep an eye on Detroit. They're in a very winnable division. The Packers are going to be going down. The Bears, to me, are not any good. Minnesota's a complete fraud team, as the Giants showed you last year in the playoffs. I think the Lions are going to win that division. Keep an eye on Detroit. San Francisco, to me, the quarterback, Sam Darnold is their quarterback. I think Sam Darnold's going to start.
I said the same thing. I said, Joe, sorry to cut you off. I said the same thing. I said the same thing when I was on with Michael Lombardi. This whole Kyle Shanahan coming out saying, we got 3 franchise quarterbacks, and Sam Darnold and Trey Lance and Brock Purdy, who probably can't even pick up an orange right now. Like, we've got 3 franchise quarterbacks. I'm like, I know you have to say that for, like, logistical purposes, but cut it out. Nobody wants Sam Darnold as their quarterback right now.
But you know what? You know what, though, Ugo and Mongo, he'll be good there because they know they are one of the top programs in the league. You got a big-time coach in Shanahan. They know what they're doing there. They'll get something out of Sam Darnold. I don't think he's the long-term answer, but they'll still be a team to be dealt with this year.
Agreed.
I don't know if they're going to be a Super Bowl team, but I think that they'll be a team that, keep an eye on them. They're going to be a dangerous team still, even with Darnold the quarterback. So, no doubt. Philly, you still got to look at the Eagles. I agree with you. They're certainly the class of the NFC East. There's no doubt. Dallas, the problem with Dallas, they're good. They were 12 games. They're a good regular season team. You get in the playoffs, and Dak wilts. Dak hasn't gotten it done in the playoffs. I mean, let's be honest about it. I think Dallas is the fraud team in a lot of ways. I do. I think it's the Eagles. I think it's the Lions. I think you still got to put San Francisco in the mix. I don't know what you're a Giant fan. I don't know what the Giants are going to do. I like Daniel Jones really turned the corner. I thought he had a tremendous year last year. Really did. Now he got paid. So, we'll see how that translates. I don't think it's going to matter. I think Jones is really going to become a real big-time quarterback now, too. I think Dable is a real coach. You got a real coach with Dable. I like some of the guys. I tell you, of all your draft picks, this kid that you got in the 3rd round, the wide receiver from Tennessee, Hines, what's his name? Hines.
Yeah, Jay.
I like him. I watched him a lot at Tennessee. I watched him at the SEC. He's going to be a big player for the Giants. Keep an eye. I think there's going to be the only negative I have for the Giants is the schedule's not as easy as last year, and there's going to be pressure on them a little bit now. They're going to be a little expectation level. So, they still got to get through the Cowboys and the Eagles. We'll see.
Agreed. Like the video, subscribe to the
Giants
channel.
might be a better team here, but actually take a step back record-wise. That wouldn't be surprising.
Oh, yeah. Again, like the video, subscribe to the channel.
It's going to be tough for your Giants, man.
Listen.
They're in a tough division. The Giants tough division. I mean, and they're not playing, they're not playing the AFC South this year. So they're playing the AFC East.
I mean, my
October 29th, bro. October 29th.
That's the
I'm coming to get you, bro.
That's the Jersey Super Bowl right there.
Mongo, not with Aaron Rodgers, lose the Giants.
You guys can't. You can't lose the Giants.
No, we're not.
You can't do that.
We're not. I'll make it that. I'll
promise
that right now.
Well, we open up against the Giants. We open in MetLife at
Well, that's a Cowboy fan. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Sorry, I was having fun with that, Jim.
You heard what I said about the Cowboys.
I did. No, I did.
The Cowboys will win 11, 12 games. probably lose the division to Philly, make the playoffs, and then crap out somewhere along the line.
I mean, listen, I'm not going to defend. In that sense, I can't defend them and get on the soapbox and cut a promo and say that no, that's not going to happen this year or whatnot. You got 28 years of evidence to show that that's what we do right now. Like that's their narrative. Unfortunately, it's
Cowboys,
true. That's their narrative right now.
The Cowboys remind me of the Yankees in a lot of ways. They're very, obviously they're a premier franchise in their sport. They're good. They're a good team. Lately, they've been a good team every year. Just like the Yankees are good every year, but not good enough to win it all.
It's the big. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. The big. And we discussed this again. Check out episode 21 with Michael Lombardi 2 episodes ago. Again, the big thing that has been holding them back twofold. Stopping the run in the playoffs, as simple and mundane as that is, stopping the run in the playoffs. C.J. Anderson's fat behind is still running with the Los Angeles Rams. He's still running somewhere in L.A. Like he was when they met up at the old Coliseum before they built SoFi. Like they can't stop the run in the playoffs to save their lives. So the Mozzie Smith pick, we discussed it on a Draft Super Show. Go check that one out, episode 20, now streaming. That was big. It was big that they got somebody that actually specializes in that, so that's going to help alleviate that. But you mentioned it too. Dak has a lot of pressure on him. This is a huge year for him because, number one, he's up for a new contract. That's number one. And number two, the front office has made a concerted effort to really get weapons this year. They drafted a kid, Deuce Vaughn, out of K-State. Love that pick. They went out and traded for Brandon Cooks. Michael Gallup is going to come back healthy. So you're going to have a three-headed monster at wide receiver again for the first time in a couple of years. You got CeeDee Lamb, Gallup. You got Pollard. You tagged Pollard.
He got hurt in the playoff game too.
That changed everything. That changed everything. But that's what I'm saying. So if Dak is supposed to be the guy, Pollard getting hurt, you're supposed to overcome that. But then that goes back to Kellen Moore being an idiot, which is why he's not with the Cowboys anymore. He's over with the Chargers.
Who's their offensive coordinator?
Right now, it's a combination of Marty Schottenheimer, who used to be with the Jets, if I'm not mistaken.
Brian
Schottenheimer. Rest in peace to Marty. It's Brian Schottenheimer, and I think Mike McCarthy is going to call plays this year. So
Schottenheimer's not terrible. You know what? He's really not. So he's not terrible.
The Seahawks had a top 5 offense, right. I believe 3 times with Geno at that. With Schottenheimer calling plays. So everybody, again, it's because
we went to back-to-back AFC title games with Mark Sanchez as our quarterback, with Schottenheimer calling plays.
Exactly. So
he's not bad. Schottenheimer's not bad.
I like bringing him on board. I expect for us, like you said, I expect somewhere between 11 and 12 wins, but then the spotlight's going to be on them. Are you guys going to fold like you always do, Cowboys? Or are you guys different? And the pressure's on Dak, 100% on Dak.
Yep.
Is Dak going to cement himself with his paycheck? Like, you're getting paid like a top guy. Are you gonna play like a top guy in the playoffs? He did last year against the Bucks for 1 round.
Yeah,
he did for 1 round. He did. We saw it, and everybody was like, "Whoa, is this it?"
I don't want to temper your enthusiasm with that, but that Buck team was not any good. I mean, they were 8-9. Tom Brady was a shell. Let's be honest about this.
Sure. It was still the playoffs, though. It was still the playoffs. You got to give credit for that.
Todd Bowles is the coach, too, of the Bucks.
5 savages for that.
That's fair, too.
Some PTSD.
That somehow keeps coming back.
Like I said, they're a good team. But beating the big boys in a playoff game, beating a healthy
They don't do that.
Team,
they don't do that.
Beating the Eagles, or like I said, this Lion team. I don't know about that. They're good. Like I said, they'll win 11 games, 12 games. They'll be in the playoffs, and then what?
That's the question. That's the question. Trust me. I'm 100% with you. There's no backlash whatsoever. I'm a realist Cowboy fan. I'm not a front runner. I'm not delusional like some of us are. Like if when the Cowboys don't get it done, we come on this show. Mongo is my witness, and I let them have it. I do not shy away from it. So we keep it 100 on here. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. We're gonna real quick. Go ahead.
You're gonna run into the exact same problem this year. If Joe's rankings are correct, they'll be the 5 seed. They'll get to beat up on a bad NFC South champion, and they'll lull themselves into that same false sense of security when they go into the divisional round. It's going to be the exact same problem.
Right.
You need to change something.
Right. And, you're pretty much right. That's exactly right. You hit it right on the head, Mongo. And then when they got to go up against the real big boys, that's when we're going to find out about. Can they beat the Eagles? Can they go into Philadelphia and win the playoff game against the Eagles?
Honestly, my issue with them. Now we've consistently beaten the Eagles. Really,
we beat them last year. You beat them that game. You beat them in Dallas.
We did. And Dak Prescott is 8-3 against the Eagles for his career. He has dominated the Eagles since he's gotten into the league. My issue isn't really with them because head to head we stack up pretty well with them. San Francisco is the team that scares me more than Philly because we play Philly twice a year. I expect us to split. I expect us to split going in. It's just matchup-wise, for whatever reason, our offense doesn't work against them.
They got a good defense. Well, you're also talking about the best defense in the league. I mean, the Niners had the best defense in football last year.
True. This is true. But again, that was my issue with Kellen Moore. If you're this offensive whiz kid or whatnot, and your offense doesn't work in the playoffs, you're not good at your job.
Right.
You're a front runner.
You know what?
So that's my problem.
Look, I like Prescott. I do. I think he's a solid player. I think he's a real good guy. He's a role model type guy. I have respect for that. But he's got to look to him. You can talk about the offensive coordinator all day long. Dak's got to get it done.
I agree.
They got to be able to run the ball.
I agree.
If they're going to win in the playoffs, they need to run the football.
Agreed.
Now, who's the other guy? Because Zeke is gone. Did anybody sign Zeke? Did he sign him?
No. They're not going to bring him back. He's still out there. From what I heard,
he is still out there, right?
He's still out there. I think he's going to go to the Bengals personally. That's where I think he's going to end up.
Okay.
But I think if Dalvin Cook is released by the Vikings, I think Dallas needs to jump on that immediately. You pair Cook up with Pollard, you're cooking.
I could see I could see us going after Dalvin Cook too. I wouldn't be surprised.
It's an arms race. It's an arms race. Somebody's going to get him, and somebody's going to get a stud for about a year before he hits free agency all over again. But Joe, get a round of applause for Joe B. It's about that time. We always wrap things. We did this rapid fire.
I got to tell you guys. Maybe you'll have another Don DeMarco because if I don't eat soon, you're going to see me pass out on the floor. Now, let me just say.
Ratings gold, Joe. Ratings gold.
Perfect. 3 minutes, Joe. Can you give us 3 minutes, buddy, please?
3 minutes. I got three. Hey, Ugo. As long as there's no timeouts.
No timeouts.
Three real minutes, not three basketball minutes like my wife.
Okay.
No reviews. No TV timeouts for commercials. No Dean Blandino or Stereotype.
Right, please. Mike Pereira.
Two savages. All right. This is Rapid Fire, and this episode of Rapid Fire is brought to you by Oh the Pain, hosted by my main man Joe B, as well as U-Goboy merch. U-Goboy merch.
Nice.
Shout out to Dan DiCarlo. You'll see it at the bottom in this video. We got 2 brand new logos of me and Mongo, and we got new merch coming and a new logo coming for Sports Talk. So Dan DiCarlo, give me a Don Cannon for my main man Dan DiCarlo. We love you. All right.
Love you, Dan.
So this is how we're gonna do the rapid fire here. Mongo's gonna do the first half, and then I'm gonna do the second half.
All right. What is your favorite word?
My favorite word?
Yes.
Oh, man, it's a tough call. I'll say my favorite word is why not?
Okay,
fair enough. What is your least favorite word?
My least favorite word. It's a good question. I have to think about that. I don't know if I have a least favorite word. I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna lose.
Oh, that's a good one.
I knew he was going to say that one, believe it or not.
In your group of friends, are you the one that's always late or the one that everyone brings their problems to?
I would say neither. I'm very punctual. I like being on time, early, and people don't generally bring their problems to my wife, not me.
Fair enough.
Don DeMarco.
Hey, you knew what to do there. What's your biggest pet peeve?
My biggest pet peeve is probably reviewing football.
That's excellent. What's your worst fear?
My worst fear? Wow. You know what? I'll say I have a worst fear. I don't know if I really want to get into it at this moment. I'll say it this way. My worst fear is that our country is not being run properly. How's that? I'll leave it at that.
Okay.
That's fair. Not to break character real quick, but the first time Hugo had me on the show, my answer was dying alone, and it just completely stopped the show in its tracks. So trust me, there's no wrong answer.
Bad.
There is no wrong answer, Joe. It was a bad move by me. Right. He was kind enough to have me back. Who was your favorite football player growing up?
Oh, it's got to be Namath. No, Namath.
Oh, good choice. Good choice. Favorite football coach growing up? Oh, sorry. Favorite football coach ever.
Growing up was probably, you know what? Probably Lombardi, to be honest with you.
Fair enough. Favorite football memory ever?
Well, it has to be Super Bowl III. My only championship.
Fair enough. And I'm going to make this last one a two-parter. Your favorite Sopranos character and episode?
Oh, wow. Yeah, you can't get me on episodes. I'm not going to go there. But I it's got to be Gandolfini. It's got to be him. Tony.
All right, the OG. I like it.
All right, sweet. Okay, and I'll bring it home with these last two. Favorite Jets defensive player right now?
Favorite Jets, I got defensive player. I got to go with Sauce.
Shout out to Sauce Gardner. We got to get you on the show, buddy.
Carl Lawson, I love you too.
Yes. Juice versus
Carl Lawson just structured his deal.
All right, my man. Team player. Juice versus Sauce streaming on all digital platforms. And last but not least, two more. Favorite snack. Your favorite snack right now. Favorite snack
right now. Pop-Tarts.
Pop-Tarts. Love it.
Love that.
And last but not least, what is one job you think you'd be good at if you weren't in sports media?
One job I would be good at if I wasn't in sports media. I would have probably been a pretty good radio disc jockey.
All right. Okay, nice. Round of applause. This episode was legendary. It was epic. Joe B's in the building. Joe, thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah,
thank you, Joe.
Mongo will be back as always.
Yes.
We got more episodes of the U-Goboy
Can I go
podcast.
eat now? Is that okay?
Joe, you can go eat.
Thank you, Joe.
Hey, guys, all the love, guys.
Absolutely.
All the love.
All love.
God bless.
No doubt. And we'll sign off like this, guys. That's the belt. That's the other belt. That's Mongo. There's Terry. There's Joe on the screen. Yes. We love you guys.
She's my girlfriend. Don't tell my wife.
See you guys.
To all the non-believers. To all the non-believers. Especially you, Tom Jackson. Way to have our back, Keyshawn. Anybody can be beat.
Whoa. Hey, this a vibe, nigga. Whoa. Woo. Secure the bag. I need more. Hey, 3P, Jordan. Whoa. Woo. I can't keep it on a low. This a whole vibe. I don't need a plug, no cosign. Thinking out loud, that's a gold mine. Mask on, yeah, COVID-19. Baby mama, yeah, looking like Rihanna. Rest in peace to George, rest in peace Brianna. Still kicking like Van Damme with my niggas in Amsterdam. You go, boy. Yahtzee.